So Simon, welcome back to FrightFest. You're here with Crushed. The film's already screened in Edinburgh, but you're, as you know, someone who's familiar with the FrightFest audience. What are you hoping that... Are you expecting maybe a different reaction to the Edinburgh audience?
I mean, some filmmakers, especially who do more divisive films, say, yeah, we hope some people hate the film. But I'm like, no, I hope everyone loves it. So, and I love the FrightFest audience and the genre audience because they're generally pretty accepting, quite expansive, have, generally speaking, quite a good knowledge of film history. A bit more mature than some audiences maybe, which is good. It's always a pleasure playing here, and I'm excited. Always a little bit nervous, but excited generally to see what they come up with as a response.
I guess this idea kind of started a number of years ago when you were involved with ABCs of Death, right? P for Pressure kind of plays quite a pivotal role in this. What was it about that short that has kind of kept ticking around?
Well, I'll correct you there, because actually I wrote the script around about 2010, 2011, when I was traveling with Red, White and Blue. So I read a piece in the Sun and Daily Mail online, which I tell people I don't read that much. But yeah. I don't know how I found it, but I came across this piece about cat crushing, and it was just like, what the hell is this? Because I'd never heard about it at that point, and I did a bit of investigating, couldn't find much about it, and I was like, okay, and I was like, what a crazy, horrendous, nasty thing to do. Why would anyone do this? So of course I'll write a script about it. So I wrote that when I was, partly at home, but partly also traveling with the film, and then when ABCs of Death came around, I was like, what? The brief is to do a short about someone dying, but I was like, one wants to be a little bit different. What I do, so I was like, well, why not make it about an animal dying? And I thought it'd be an interesting kind of proof of concept for the feature script. So that's and we shot it in Suriname, which is a country in north of South America, just north of Brazil, which was formerly Dutch Guyana, because that's where my DP was from. So we went there, we spent a month there. His dad lives there, so we hung out with his dad, and then I shelved everything because I got busy with lots of other stuff, and then literally 15 years later, this opportunity came up. And Tom, the producer, is someone I've known for a long, long time. We're friends. We used to share a flat together, and so he's become a very successful producer in Bangkok. So we met in Bangkok, in Berlin Film Festival, and I was like, oh, by the way. So it kind of went from there. This was like last February. So it's kind of progressed from there, actually. So it's a long genesis of a project.
And how is it filming in Thailand? Because I think it's almost its own extra character.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've shot in Thailand, I've shot in different parts of America, I've shot in Suriname, and I always try, and of course London, and I always try to use the location as a different character. So thank you. But yeah, it was lovely. The people, I love the people there. We had a crew who are basically people Tom has worked with over and over for the years. So I was very much a kind of, the new kid on the block with the crew. But they were lovely, great people, and we did a 4-week shoot, and it was really great. So I'd advise, anyone go and shoot in Thailand.
And we have to also give a shout out to your young actress, that Margot is absolutely fantastic. How did you find her, and then also kind of navigate her through this very dark story?
Well, thank you, and yeah, that was a funny instance. So her dad is an amazing guy called Yves. He's French, and he's an actor as well. And he auditioned from another part, and when I saw his audition tape, there was a little girl reading with him. and we got him in because I thought it was quite good. But I was like to our casting director, I don't know who that's, because quite often when we got audition tapes, there'll be completely the wrong people reading, whether it be old people for young people for old people, men for women, whatever. And so I heard this little girl reading with her dad, and I was like, she seems really good. So I said to the casting director, can we bring her as well as her dad? And he said, yeah, actually she wants to come as well. So I was like, great. So again, we auditioned Eve, her dad, who again was good but wasn't quite what I was looking for. And then we auditioned her, and it's like, oh my god, she's amazing. But she was literally the first person we saw for that role. And I said to the casting director, I said, look, I can't imagine we'll find anyone better, but we can't cast the first person that we've seen, because any film you see directors, they've such far and wide the whole country, thousands of people. So I'm like, we just can't audition, we can't cast the first person. So we saw a reasonable amount of other people, and in the end she was the best, so we cast her, and she was a pleasure to, and amazing. When I auditioned her, she was 9 years old. When we filmed, she was 10. She'd never been on a film set, never shot a short film, never TV. So, but she was brilliant. And again, Eve, her dad, was incredibly supportive. Was there, as he had to be all the time, but was supportive of us. And was, without him, we couldn't have done it. And without someone that good, it was, and that was always one of the worries about doing the film, is that can we get someone that young to play such a pretty hardcore role, really.
It's a fantastic film. I'm going to let you go and enjoy your premiere. Thank you
very much. Thank you.